Meet the perfect blend of style, innovation, and power. This is the 2025 Kia K4 GT Turbo. In the next few minutes, we're going to review the exterior, the interior, the technology, the safety features, and the things that make this a very sporty Kia. Let's dive right into it. Before we get in the interior, let's start on the exterior. This is almost the top of the line K4. This is the GT Turbo. The one above it would be the Limited, and we'll get a little bit into the differences between the two of them in a second. First thing you're going to notice on the GT models specifically is that the whole body has a bit of a different appearance. So you'll notice a lot more blacked out colors. We've got an extended front splitter here, a lot more aerodynamic touches to it. On the headlights here, we got those same running daytimes, the orange ones. We've got upgraded LEDs. If you move around on the side over here, you'll see that we've got some really nice wheels, very sporty. Comes on Kumo tires, so you get a nice sporty tire to come with it as well. Looking up here, we've got the obstacle detecting front windshield with some of your sensors, just in the triangle spotted up at the top. This car looks sharp, but also manages to carry a ton of technology on the inside. Another thing you're going to notice when you're looking from the side profile is a lot of the plastics, similar to the ones in the front, are going to be blacked out. So around the door trim and window trim, I guess you could say, it's going to be all black. You'll notice that down the bottom too, the side skirts are also going to be black, as well as the plastics going around the fender. The mirrors look really sharp. These are going to be heated mirrors. You'll notice on the GT line, we have sort of this nice silver stretch part right here. We've got the signal repeaters on the side. On the inside here, we're going to be able to have the spot for the blind spot detection to light up when someone's hiding in your blind spot. These mirrors do not fold automatically. That's something I thought we would get on these ones, but not yet. Moving to the door handle, classic keyless entry with a button. I've always preferred the button over the touch pads on the cars. I just find that it's a little more tactile and it's going to last a little bit longer. It's more responsive. Same door handle for the rear for the passengers. But like I mentioned before, you've got the glossy plastic instead of that matte unpainted plastic. And then moving into the rear, this is probably one of my favorite parts of the car. I love the symmetry of it. I love the fact that it's got sharp edges, but it's not a box. It's not boxy. You got a lot of curves from the rear as well. The GT line is what's giving you this sort of rear diffuser. I think that looks really sharp and it's not overdone. It's not too aggressive. It's just sporty, I guess you could say. The LED lights crossing down the center of the trunk gives me sort of German car vibes. I like that as well. There's your GT line badge right here. And something that they improved from the previous generations of these cars, like the Forte, is that there's now a button for the trunk to open it up. And while we're in here, let's take a look. Nice deep trunk. And underneath, you'll notice that they still come with a spare tire, which is a bit of a hot commodity these days. Not often that you find the spares still in there, so that's nice. Close that up, super easy to close. Doesn't feel like it's too heavy or it's damaging the car at all. Let's get into the back seats and see what's going on back here. First thing I noticed when I opened the door is that, whoops, my lucky passengers have 3 levels of heated seats here, which is pretty nice. 1, 2, 3, and then you can shut it off one more time. Get a nice spot for a water bottle or a cup holder here. Overall, I'm really comfortable back here. This seat has not moved since I got out of it, so this is as far back as I would need it to go. This one's even further back, and I still have a decent amount of leg room. A lot of the competitors' cars, they just don't have the room in the back seats for passengers, especially if you're a little bit taller. Looking over here, you've got the hidden magical cup holder here. So if you've got your bottle in the door and then maybe your chase in the cup holder here, you're set. We've got USB chargers here. USB-C, I think is what those ones are called. Correct me if I'm wrong. Rear ventilation, something again that's a little bit tough to find in cars these days for some reason. For the back of the seats, we have a little bit of a bag holder or purse holder here. It can also work as maybe a holder for a phone if a passenger's watching a video or stuck on work calls or Zoom or something, so that's always nice. Got our handles up at the top. We've got our own lighting back here, which is nice. Another touchpad lighting, and it's LED, which is always nice to see. Overall, super comfortable in the back. Now, if you're watching this video, you're probably not going to be a passenger in the back, so let's sit in the captain's seat. Again, I've already got this seat set up for myself, but how I did that was adjusting the rear with the power seat. I can change the height, lumbar support, No memory seats on this model. However, if you upgrade to the GT line limited, you will get the memory seat for the driver, which is always a nice touch. Let's talk a little bit about the driver door. So you got your standard buttons here, your child lock, your windows, which front 2 windows are going to be automatic up and down, which is nice. Your lock and unlock, your adjustment for your mirrors. You'll also notice that they have the heated seats and heated steering wheel buttons above the door handle. I was unsure about that at first, but I do like the less congestion in the center console area. Sitting in front of me, first thing that pops out is the steering wheel. The GT line with this package has the white steering wheel and the white accents on the leathers in the car, which we'll see the rest of them afterwards. I see that we've got paddle shifters here for up and down. Going to make the car a lot sportier to go well with our turbocharged engine. I've got the option to adjust the brightnesses of my screens and interior lights, and I have an electronic parking brake. This is something you need to check for on your sedans when you're purchasing them. From what I can see on the steering wheel, I've got a couple different drive modes. Most likely from Kia, it's going to have a normal and obviously a sport mode if we're looking at a GT. Cruise control is also adaptive. We've got nice scroll wheels on the steering wheel for your volume and for changing the secondary menus in the dash. We've also got a lane centering here, which is awesome to pair with the adaptive cruise control. I'm sure we'll do that later on our test drive. Automatic lights, I'm guessing as all Kias do, this has automatic high beams as well. Let's take a little bit more look at the center console area. So first thing I want to take a look at is seating position. My elbow fits really nicely on the center console armrest. Decent size in there. I mean, I don't really put much in there, maybe my ownership or a set of sunglasses. I like that all Kias are coming with these adjustable cup holders, so my girlfriend can put her gigantic metal water bottle here, and when I have a coffee or something, I can always push that and make it a little bit smaller to hold it in place. Got a button to view the rear view camera without having to put the car in reverse. It's a lot safer, and it looks like we also have an auto hold feature. Always hit or miss with this one. It'll apply the brakes when your foot's not on it, just to keep you in place until you press the throttle again. We've got Kia's new shifter that we're tending to see in a lot of the new cars here, like the Sorento and the K4. I like it. It's nice to see that they're still trying their best to keep the traditional shifter here instead of adding buttons or the column shifters on them now. It's a push start, so our on and off button or ignition is going to be right here. And we've got a wireless phone charger, which is nice because we can pair that with our wireless Apple CarPlay on the screen, which we'll get into later. Which means technically you need no cords in the car. It's got the option for our 12 volts here as well. Let's talk about the seat. I'm absolutely stunned. They did a really good job at setting it up so that the white leathers aren't really in many of the touch points. Most of us don't really set our heads on the headrest, and it's probably the last thing that's going to get it dirty. So I like that they left that white. The leather feels very soft, but it feels like a high quality leather. I'm really happy with how this one turned out, and I really do like the white accents. And if you look up here, we've got a nice big sunroof. The sunshade is automatic, which is nice. I like when it's electronic. Not to say that I don't like pushing it back. It just feels more luxurious, I guess you could say. Higher quality when you have the automatic one, you might as well. Up above here, we have our controls as well as our emergency SOS and emergency roadside assistance buttons. Got the option to turn on all the lights inside the car, as well as the touch pads to turn on the lights individually. Taking a look at the cluster up here, we'll see that we are in park right now. We've got our speedometer, we've got our RPMs. It's nice we get a little bit of a snippet of what the speed limit's going to be on this road. Right now our door is open and we can toggle on and off our lane centering. You'll see it up here when our safety features are active. Another cool little feature is that the car in the middle is going to actually flash its rear brakes when you use them. Something that's nice too is you can actually customize that cluster. So when you go in the settings in the vehicle, in your infotainment screen, we can go to a simple view, which is more just going to be a number for your RPMs, little gauges on the side. We've also got a couple different styles for them. So for example, circle A, B, and C looks like pretty similar between the two of them. Just going to change up the colors and maybe the font a little bit. Moving to the right a little bit, you'll notice you have a secondary climate control. We've got the pretty straightforward buttons that you can adjust here, but then we've got the touchpad. It's a little bit odd trying to reach behind it. However, when I'm parked, it's nice being able to change everything from there. Then when you move a little bit over, we're gonna have the main section of the infotainment screen. Right now, we're in a guest profile. You're gonna wanna make sure you build your own profile before you start playing with the settings. We've got a little bit of a snippet of the date, shows that we don't have Kia Connect registered to this car yet. Snippet of the map and media. If I swipe over, I'm gonna have things like phone projection to set up my Apple CarPlay, weather, valet mode, and setup, which is gonna allow you to change all of the features and really customize and personalize the car. The car is loaded with safety features. We mentioned the blind spot detection. We mentioned the lane keep assist. You can pair the two of those for some blind spot collision avoidance as well, where the car moves a bit on its own. We can add different driver attention warnings. If I go into driving safety, I can adjust the warning timings. I can turn on and off certain features if I don't like them. They are, however, beneficial, so it's always best to leave some of them on. Now, as the title suggests, this car is turbocharged as opposed to the regular 2-liter naturally aspirated 4-cylinder of the base model. This is a 1.6-liter turbocharged engine, making about 190 horsepower at 6,000 RPM. To touch more on design, if you take a look at the dash here, again, something I've said in my previous videos, as I'm super happy that we're kind of getting rid of the whole piano black era. All it did was show thumbprints and fingerprints everywhere. So this one should be less susceptible to that, which is nice. And some of the glossy plastics are going to be more of a silver, which again is tough to see the fingerprints on. So that's going to help a lot. On the dash up here, this feels like it's sort of got like a other leather feel. It's not going to be like very squishy. It's kind of a softer, I guess, material to use for your dash. You've got the owner's manual taking up almost the entire glove box here. And if you take a look in here, that little orange bar is actually your ambient lighting, so that can be adjusted in terms of colors and brightness as well. I have been waiting a very long time to check out one of these on the road. We've had this car in the showroom for way too long. Let's take it for a drive. My first time driving the turbocharged K4. I've been waiting for this for a long time. I like that it's got the paddles, so I can really downshift. Whoa, it's not bad. Not bad for a Kia. Anyways, we're driving on a back road right now, and some of the roads aren't too great, so it gives me a really good chance to test out the suspension. Like, here's a nice big bump right here. Smooth. I didn't even hear anything. Well, I heard that truck pass, but that's about it. Great. So I'm coming up to a stoplight here, so I'm going to try and test out some of the features on the car like I normally do. When I'm driving the cars during these test drives, I like to test out some of the features just to see how well the Kia technology meshes into the new car. So this is my first time driving the K4, the turbo, and I'm going to test it out with the lane centering / lane keep assist, and also pair that with the adaptive cruise control. I just want to see how it feels to use the features that the car comes with. I like that the screen layout is super simple. It's clear, easy to see. I'm not really getting any glare from the sun, even though it's sort of behind us, which is nice too. I can see this car by default has a certain dash setup on it. I'm sure with the GT line, you can probably adjust that and change the styles of it. Lane centering feels great. Car feels very stable. I'm on a back road right now too, so it's super rough. Lots of bumps, lots of potholes. We're hitting those, I don't want to say hard, but we're hitting them with a decent amount of force, but it's super smooth. I'm not feeling that gut-wrenching feeling you feel typically when you run over a bump and it just doesn't sound great. So that's always a nice change of pace. Car brakes pretty decent, so I don't feel too much body roll. Overall, pretty comfortable. One thing that I don't think of much when I'm doing these videos is how much space I have for my legs. I'm leg tall, if you know what I mean. So sometimes it feels like my ankle or my knee's in a weird spot, but this feels pretty good. I feel like I have a lot of space. I'm not really worried about hitting my knee against anything like the door or center console area. Okay, let's turn on the cruise control. Nice. Speed up a little bit. Adaptive cruise control is 100% something I want on my next car. Just the amount of highway driving I do, the amount of slowing down and speeding up, it just makes sense to have. I don't think once I have it, I'll ever want to go back to a regular cruise control. It's just super convenient. I like that when I'm driving, I find the white accents inside the car don't really mess with my peripherals or draw the attention of my eyes. I sat in a car once that had bright white seats. One, I was always worried about getting those dirty, and two, I felt like I could always see them in the corner of my eye. But this is a lot more subtle. We got a K4 in front of us. Let's go. Ours is cooler though. Ooh, they didn't buy it from us. I really like the size of the sunroof. For a car that only has, I guess, a single pane sunroof, this thing is massive. It lets a decent amount of sun in the car. It's not blinding because it's got a little bit of a factory tint on it, but it looks really good. And I actually like the fact that it's got the electronic shade for it instead of just a manual cover. I feel like a lot of brands are cheaping out and just throwing manual covers on everything. Now, I would say design-wise, Kia absolutely killed it on this. Price point-wise, I think for what you're paying, you're getting a lot more than other cars for the same price. Performance-wise, it drives actually much better than the other models without the turbocharger, so I'm happy they introduced that. If this is something that maybe is even interesting you, I think once you've driven it, you will know for sure that this is the right car. Now, if you're interested in something like this, you can reach out to us at 613-793-1053 or come visit us at 490 Terry Fox Drive and ask for Aiden specifically. If you're interested in this car, you can also leave us a comment down below and let us know what your favorite feature was, and you'll be entered to win a $50 gas card from us here at Donnelly Kia.